Black Tengu Productions.
Hey everyone, it's been a while. I'm gonna make a 2-3 part series on how I built the enclosures behind me. If you haven't been following my Instagram, which you should follow at Black Tengu Exotics, you wouldn't know that I have poison dart frogs. But these enclosures, you don't need to put dart frogs in them. You can just put plants, rare plants, a lot of other cool things inside of them that can handle these environments, these humid tropical environments. But you have your own tropical environment in your home. It pretty much takes care of itself. In this video, I'll just be going over how I built the base glass box, and then we can go in a little bit more detail about vivariums, terrariums when we get to the other video, when I start adding all that other fun stuff and the animals and the plants. So stay tuned, enjoy, and stay updated for more. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve, because I'm slow releasing videos, follow my Instagram once again at Black Tengu Exotics. Thanks for watching. And before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to Ufraga Histrionica or Troys Tropic Garage. I'll have the link in the description, who I got this build from, and mine's a little bit modified, but how I'm doing this and generally like how I'd go about it is it's his design. So watch his build videos and get another perspective on how to build it from the man himself. So, hey everyone, let's get started. My girlfriend's unpackaging the glass. In the description, you'll find a list of all the different glass sizes and dimensions. You can go over costs later, but roughly this cost me around $1,200 for the two of them. That's extremely freaking expensive. In most places, glass is not this expensive, and she should be able to make two of these for around $200 or $300. Here's a model I made in SketchUp. We'll try to make this available so you guys can use this to make yours wider, taller. You can probably go twice as wide and maybe twice as tall without really having a problem with this glass thickness. But do consider glass thickness if you're going to go any more extreme than that. So these enclosures are going to be 17.5 inches wide, 17 inches deep, and 2 feet tall. Not shown in the video is the kind of the mesh screen I use for the vents and kind of the trim and the tracks for the sliding door. I'll kind of go over that later and where I got it from and how much it cost, but I really don't have any footage of that. So here she is marking up the glass with the Expo marker for where to put the masking tape and where we're going to make cuts. So we use masking tape to really make clean edges for the silicone, which is going to keep the glass panes together. End of the day, honestly, I think this was a whole wasted effort. I think you can do this without that. Essentially, it's marking for 1/4 inch glass and then maybe an extra 1/4 inch for a silicone seam. I don't think this is really necessary. As long as you're not like gooping on gallons of silicone, you can get really close or nice clean edges. And when we do the background, a lot of this is going to disappear anyways. And we end up breaking a quarter glass, and this is largely from just kind of when you place it down the ground. If you have like a really hard wood floor, use something soft so it doesn't just chip and bang. But it's a small crack, just use some Loctite and we can get rid of that issue. So we're masking, leaving room for the glass panels to sit on the bottom. We're just taping. Once again, I think you can skip this whole effort, but if you're a perfectionist, go for it. It also helps you just have a better understanding of where things are going to go, how much room you're leaving, anything. So it's not a terrible thing to do, but if you're someone who just wants something quick and you're okay with your background, which is pretty much going to cover this anyways, there's no reason to do all this. But it did give a really good perspective on how things are going to fit, where things are going to fit, and kind of prevent you from making any mishaps if you were just kind of winging it. So here you can just use 100%, I'd say GE1 silicone. It's really safe, doesn't have any mold inhibitors which can harm your animals or plants. The base is really the most important part. And if you can see on this base, I have duct tape, and that duct tape is used so that when you put each of the side panels on, it doesn't just slip off. So glue back first, then the sides. Make sure the duct tape. So these, I tried doing it without the duct tape, and this shit just fell off. And what I'm showing here is this dam portion. This is really what's going to keep all your substrate from just falling out the tank. And it's 2 inches in deep. And so you see that, that's why I really just want to show the 2 inches in for that dam piece. And then you have the brace, which is going to hold the front part, which ultimately is going to hold the vents. And you'll see more as we get farther in. But we've done the bottoms, we're going to use the seams, and then we're just going to seam everything together, and then use my finger or towel, whatever you want. Finger honestly works best, and just kind of make a nice smooth seam and wipe the excess on a towel or rag. And now we're going to do the top, which is the second brace for the vent portion, the back one, and then the second one. Once again, you do the edges first and then the seams. And make sure you use the duct tape. This helps keep things in place just in case if you touch anything and it shifts out of place and you're like, and your thing's all crooked. And see those little that gap on the top is where the other vent's gonna go. That's where you use trim and some kind of mesh screen to keep the frogs or anything else from coming out the tank or coming in. So here's the brace, caulking up the braces, and then the front brace, and see that middle portion that's empty, that's where the glass is going to sit on, that's where the mesh screen is going to go and the sliding doors are going to go. So as you can see in this image, here are the sliding door tracks. So I'm going to have where I got these in the parts in the description, but they're styrene sliding door tracks, and I use right angle styrene molding on the corners, and then I put the mesh screen in between it, and it's super glued. I think I use silicone, but I feel like super glue would kind of work better here, a Loctite or something a little more secure. And that creates the mesh, and I use the right angle molding for the top portion to create to secure the mesh screen on the top as well. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. This is kind of just building the box, and be prepared for the next video. And that's where the really interesting stuff is, where you get to design and create the background, and that's where you really get to add your own personal flavor and kind of make your own world, and it really starts to come to life. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed, and once again, check out Troys Tropic Garage. She has more videos if you want more in depth on doing the molding.